something to lift your spirits a little bit, following a successful world premiere in Hollywood earlier this week. Mufasa, the Lion King, is screening for the very first time in South Africa this evening. This is the latest installment of the popular franchise, which tells the story about how Simba's father became king. And guess who's attending? It's AM Report anchor Aldrin Sampear, who is live for us at the Eastgate shopping centre in Johannesburg. Aldrin, good evening to you, and thanks for this. Talk to us. This is a very important export from our country. This is something that we can proudly call our own, and it is screening for the first time here in South Africa. It must be a huge, huge success indeed.
Yeah, certainly it is a huge success. I have to say, even for myself, I'm so excited to be here amongst the cast members and amongst the fans of The Lion King as well, who are coming to see and witness the latest installment of this franchise, which has been a success over the past 30 years. When I spoke to Barry Jenkins, who's the director of this movie, he also spoke about, you know, if you take into consideration it's been 30 years of Mufasa, or rather 30 years of The Lion King, but it's also been 30 years of our democracy. So see what's happening there here, the celebration of The Lion King, 30th anniversary and 30th anniversary of our democracy as well, as we celebrate that. And what a way to celebrate this. If you've watched this movie before, you know that opening of the movie, and that's being done by Lebo M. Jeez, I'm out of breath. That's done by Lebo M. He does the opening sequence once again, but this time around, it is going to be a different song. So he said that he's a bit nervous about that. Let's just quickly bring into this conversation now Christine Service, who is the Senior Vice President and General Manager for Walt Disney Company Africa. A very, very good evening to you. How excited are you about this moment?
Oh, so excited. You know, The Lion King is near and dear to our hearts here in South Africa. And as you say, 30 years later, it is still at the top of the box office here. And there's so much more story to tell. And Mufasa has arrived just in time, I think. In the 30th year, it couldn't be better.
Yeah. And also, all of this happening as we are celebrating what has happened with animation as well. The technology around animation. I've watched about 5 minutes, 10 minutes of the movie, and it is breathtaking. Tell us about what went into all of this and bringing all of this together and getting the likes of Barry Jenkins.
Yeah, you know, when the first film came out in 1994, it was groundbreaking in itself. And of course, the storytelling in Lion King is what underpins it all. But then in 2019, when the live action version came out, I think people couldn't believe what they were seeing on the screen because of the power of technology. And really now, you know, 5 years later, you're going to see another advance in that. And I think that's what Disney does really well, is we take these iconic stories and then we reimagine them for younger audiences, new audiences who are used to seeing something a little bit different on the stage, on the screen rather. And of course the music, I mean, you mentioned the music. Music is at the heart of Lion King completely, and we're looking forward to some new songs, new moments in this film as well.
Yeah. There are young ones actually standing right behind you. I'm sure they're going to be enjoying the movie as well. But the point that was raised by one of the cast members is that while this movie may be perceived as a movie for children, it's actually a movie for the entire family, no matter the age.
You know, the Lion King story has so many layers in it, right? It's a story about family, it's a story about friendship, it's a story about tragic loss, it's about betrayal, it's about duty. So there's something in it for everyone, and I think that's why it stood the test of time, of course, because generations are watching this film over and over again.
Generations are watching this movie over and over again. Now we're telling the story of Mufasa. It's a prequel. I wonder which other story there could possibly be. Hint, hint.
Now you're fishing for something that I would get in trouble for, but right now we are so focused on Mufasa. We couldn't be more excited. I mean, as we chatted about earlier, we had the premiere in LA, we've had the premiere in London, and here we are on this beautiful Johannesburg evening at the South African premiere of Mufasa.
And also just quickly about the stage as well, 25 years of being on stage. Lebo M celebrates that so much.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, Lion King is the films, but it's also so many other things. It's the Broadway musical stage play that, as you say, has been celebrating its 25th year. And an important thing to note is that in the stage plays all around the world, there are South Africans in every single cast. There isn't a single performance that goes on without South Africans in key roles. That's how meaningful this connection between the franchise is and being here in South Africa.
Well, I look forward to the movie. I just saw Dr. John Kani has just stepped in, and he, of course, plays Rafiki, the elder. Kagiso Lidika plays Rafiki, the youngs, and a bit later on we'll be chatting to them and speak about their experience of being part of such an incredible franchise. Not the first time, of course, for Dr. John Kani, because he was also part of the previous installment, and now, once again, he's back. You don't want to miss that conversation. It's back to you in studio.
Aldrin Sampear. Enjoy the movie.